bonjour. No pressure. Bonjour tout le monde. Good morning, fellow New Democrats. It's always great to be back here in Edmonton, where Rachel Notley's NDP government is building a stronger, fairer Alberta. Et est-ce que je peux commencer en vous disant à quel point je suis fier de vous, je suis fier de nous, je suis fier de notre parti. J'ai été tellement impressionné et profondément inspiré ce matin par la qualité des échanges que nous avons eus sur la protection de l'environnement. Nous avons fait de la lutte aux inégalités la priorité du NPD et ça inclut, bien sûr, les inégalités entre les générations. Il n'y a pas de plus grande menace aux prochaines générations que la crise des changements climatiques. Merci donc, merci d'avoir rappelé aux Canadiens l'importance que nous accordons à l'état de la planète que nous allons léguer à nos enfants et à nos petits-enfants. I've been traveling a lot over the last few months to talk to members like you, and more importantly, to listen. Last month, I was here in this beautiful province in Calgary, Greenway, to be specific. We stopped to talk to some folks at an A&W. It was mid-morning and a bit of an older crowd. After chatting with a small group, a man named Sully asked me a brutally frank question. Why, after a lifetime of work, am I poor? You see, his wife had passed away last fall, and he was trying to live on just over $1,000 a month. And you know what? In the city of Calgary, that's pretty close to impossible. It breaks my heart when I hear stories like this from people struggling. I wish that I could have looked him in the eyes and said that a new era in Canada was beginning. One where profitable corporations and big banks were finally paying their fair share. And where help was finding its way to seniors like Sully. I remember Colleen in Nanaimo telling us she couldn't afford the test strips for her diabetes. My dad had diabetes. He had both legs amputated. I remember my parents dealing with bills for his medication that were several $100s a month. They didn't have the money. Oh, I wish I could have told Colleen that universal pharmacare was now a reality in Canada. But it's not possible. Yet. It's not possible yet. We made mistakes that cost us a victory in October, and for that, I take responsibility. I share your deep disappointment in the election results. That's why we've held unvarnished debrief sessions right across the country to better understand what went wrong, what mistakes were made, and how we can apply those lessons going forward. This process has also been an inspiring opportunity for me to connect individually with so many members like you. It's renewed my hope, my optimism in the future. And I'll share with you that one thing has become crystal clear. It's time for us to open up this party. To draw on all of the incredible talent and depth that we have from coast to coast to coast. There's too much work ahead of us. Having any one of us sit on the sidelines is not an option. In a Canada where the gap between the wealthy and everyone else is growing faster and wider than in most of the developed world, where ordinary families struggle to get ahead, and the most vulnerable struggle just to get by. We need a strong, united NDP now more than ever, because only New Democrats will tackle inequality and fight to even the odds for everyone. Depuis des dizaines et des dizaines d'années, les gouvernements conservateurs et libéraux successifs veillent aux intérêts des plus riches et des plus influents. Pendant ce temps-là, les travailleurs ont vu leurs services publics démantelés, leurs salaires stagner, quand ce n'est pas leur emploi qui partait carrément à l'étranger. C'est pourquoi notre ancien chef et ami, Jack Layton, a travaillé sans relâche pour bâtir un mouvement social-démocrate solide et bien rodé. Un mouvement moderne pour rassembler les progressistes du Québec avec ceux d'ailleurs au pays, pour tenir tête aux vieilles élites politiques. En 2011, nous avons réussi une percée historique. Nous sommes devenus une véritable option avec un appui et des assises solides au Québec. Plus d'1 million de Québécois considèrent toujours les valeurs néo-démocrates comme leurs valeurs et nos 16 députés de partout au Québec sont là pour en témoigner. Bien sûr, nos attentes étaient plus élevées, mais nous restons malgré tout une force politique redoutable au Québec. Nous avons des associations de circonscription et des militants à des endroits impensables il y a quelques années à peine. Le rêve de Jack est toujours bien présent et pour garder ce rêve vivant, nous devons continuer de travailler ensemble. Avec un parti fort et uni, nous pouvons et nous allons continuer de faire avancer sa vision. You know, whether it's here in Edmonton or in downtown Toronto, on the Lower Mainland or in Atlantic Canada, wherever I go, I talk to families who work hard and do everything right, but feel like the deck is stacked against them. You know, it's not difficult to understand why. Over the last 30 years, workers have helped grow our economy by over 50%, but those same workers have seen their wages stagnate and retirement security virtually disappear. CEOs in Canada make 200 times the wage of the average worker. And you know that those same CEOs can use their stock options to avoid paying fair taxes, while at the same time over 1 million Canadian kids go to school hungry. That's not right. The middle class is being hollowed out as good-paying jobs are replaced with temporary, part-time, precarious work. Last year alone, Canada's big banks made a record $35 billion in profits and handed $12 billion in bonuses to their executives, while they cut thousands of good-paying Canadian jobs. We don't accept that. Now, Liberals and Conservatives will tell you that this is just the way things are. They'll say that this is the inevitable outcome of market forces, that nothing can be done. Well, allow me to be blunt. This is complete and utter BS. You know, as New Democrats, we know that there's nothing inevitable about signing trade deals that kill good Canadian jobs. It's a choice. There's nothing inevitable about handing tens of billions of dollars in tax giveaways to CEOs and the big banks. It's a choice. And there's nothing inevitable about cutting the services and supports families need to stay afloat. It's a choice. Liberal and Conservative choices made by those successive governments over the last 3 decades that disproportionately benefited those at the top and hurt everyone else. Only New Democrats will stand up and demand a better deal for all those Canadians who are being left out and left behind by this winner-takes-all economy. And that's why Canada needs a strong, united NDP now more than ever. Nous savons au NPD que ça ne suffit pas d'avoir une soi-disant égalité des chances. Voyons donc. Pas quand les règles de ce jeu-là pénalisent la majorité des travailleurs et les plus vulnérables. Nous savons aussi qu'il n'y a rien de progressiste à faire campagne contre l'augmentation des impôts des grandes entreprises et contre un salaire minimum fédéral à 15 $ de l'heure. Pourtant, c'est le paradoxe du nouveau gouvernement libéral. Leur parti a fait campagne pour le changement, mais il a déjà brisé plusieurs promesses. Plutôt que de passer à l'action contre les changements climatiques, le gouvernement libéral a adopté les mêmes cibles des conservateurs et n'a aucun plan pour atteindre même ces cibles ridiculement basses. Plutôt que de mettre fin à la mission de combat des conservateurs en Irak, les libéraux ont élargi l'engagement militaire du Canada en remplaçant nos avions de chasse par 3 fois plus de troupes au sol. Oui, c'est une honte. Et plutôt que d'aider les familles qui en arrachent, la priorité des libéraux dans le budget a été de maintenir les privilèges fiscaux des grandes entreprises et de leurs PDG. Quand les Canadiens ont voté pour du changement, est-ce que je peux vous dire qu'ils méritaient mieux que ça? Et maintenant, ils comptent sur un NPD fort et uni pour jouer son rôle clé d'opposition progressiste et forcer les libéraux à livrer la marchandise. Now, just as our winner-takes-all economy leaves families behind, our winner-takes-all electoral system literally leaves millions of Canadians out. According to a report from the Broadbent Institute, 9 million votes cast during the last election effectively didn't count because of Canada's antiquated first-past-the-post system. Of course, Conservatives believe the unfair status quo is just fine. Liberals, on the other hand, promise change, but they're already starting to backtrack on that one as well. My friends, the next few months will be critical in the fight for proportional representation. And we have to stay strong and united to lead this fight together. This is a moment. This is a chance to make history and strengthen our democracy by ensuring every vote and every voter finally counts. My friends, the task ahead of us is a difficult one. That's never stopped us before. The pundits are ready to write us off, as they have before, during, and after every single election. But in this convention hall, we don't back down from a challenge. In fact, we press on. Even when we suffer a setback, we stand strong. Even when they tell us it's a losing battle. If Jack and I had listened to them, do you think we would have ever broken through in Quebec? But together, we did it. If we had listened to them, we would never have dared take such a strong stand against Bill C-51. But we knew that this was about defending the fundamental rights and freedoms of all Canadians. So together, we did that as well because we knew it was the right thing to do. That's who we are. That's the history of our party. When NDP MP Margaret Mitchell rose in Parliament over 3 decades ago to raise the issue of violence against women, other parties tried to heckle her into silence. But Margaret would not be intimidated. She would not stay silent. She pressed on and just spoke louder. When Tommy Douglas was told that free, universal medical care was an impossible dream, and the doctors were willing to strike indefinitely, he didn't stop because it was hard. He pressed on because he knew health care should be a right for all, not just the few. And today, because Tommy couldn't be scared off, we have a public health care system that is the envy of the world. Now, unfortunately, Tommy's vision is under threat like never before. Creeping privatization and a Liberal budget that doubles down on Stephen Harper's health care cuts threaten the quality of health services in Canada. Let there be no doubt. Together, we will fight like hell to protect universal health care because there's nothing more universal to New Democrats. Mes amis, vous savez quoi? Nous, on ne va pas écouter les cyniques. Et nous n'allons pas renoncer à nous battre quand les choses se corsent. Quand Thérèse Casgrain s'est fait dire, encore et encore, par l'establishment québécois, que le droit de vote ne concernait pas les femmes, elle a continué de se battre. Grâce à son courage et à ses principes, elle est devenue la première femme à diriger un parti politique au Canada, et pas n'importe lequel, l'aile québécoise de la CCF, l'ancêtre du NPD. Et quand Jack Layton s'est fait dire qu'il ne pourrait rien faire, qu'il ne pourrait jamais changer les choses, il ne s'est pas laissé décourager. Au contraire, il a forcé les libéraux à transférer ce qui devait être un cadeau de 4,5 milliards de dollars aux grandes entreprises vers le logement abordable, les communautés des Premières Nations, la formation et le transport en commun. Des investissements qui ont eu un impact concret et positif dans la vie des Canadiens. Et quand la corruption gangrène nos institutions, que ce soit le scandale libéral des commandites ou le scandale conservateur du Sénat, le NPD est là pour exposer, pour dénoncer et pour les forcer à faire le ménage. Voilà le genre de résultat que les néo-démocrates obtiennent en travaillant ensemble. Un NPD fort et uni a prouvé qu'il est capable, lui, de livrer la marchandise. My friends, our work to build a fairer, more equal Canada starts here. It starts right now. It starts with long-time NDP activists and young people who volunteered for the very first time during the last campaign. While the election results were not as we had hoped, our roots, our grassroots, are very strong. You helped us knock on more doors, make more phone calls, and raise more money from small donors than ever before. Yes, you can applaud. It's you. From Jonquière to Victoria, from southwestern Ontario to Saskatoon. And in every community I visited, there were packed campaign offices teeming with energy and enthusiasm thanks to the hard work of your local campaigns. Make no mistake, our future is bright, as Stephen Lewis reminded us yesterday, and we have you to thank for it. My fellow New Democrats, we don't have a moment to waste. Struggling Canadian families need us to stay focused on their priorities. The call center and airport workers I met in Toronto who put in their full 40 hours a week but still live in poverty, they're counting on us. Yeah, they are, because they want us to continue the fight for a decent federal minimum wage, to ensure that their hard work is rewarded with fair pay. The woman I met in Saskatoon who survived sexual violence, only to be denied a shelter space She's counting on us to keep pushing to ensure no woman is ever turned away in her moment of need. And in a society where sexual assault is rarely reported and even less frequently leads to a conviction, she's counting on us to say loudly and clearly, we believe survivors. Indigenous communities who live with underfunded schools, endless boil water advisories, and an epidemic of suicides, they're counting on us to ensure First Nations, Inuit, and Métis children have the same chance at education and success as every other Canadian kid. Nothing else is acceptable. The man I just met here in Edmonton, who's been out of work since last year and fears that he's going to lose his house and a lifetime of work with it, he's counting on us to fight for fair employment insurance system that's there for every Canadian who's fallen on hard times through no fault of their own. Young parents who have to make difficult decisions between their careers and caring for their children, they're counting on us to keep up the fight for a Canada-wide, universal, affordable, quality childcare program that will empower women, give our kids a good start in life, and strengthen the economy. As New Democrats, as Social Democrats, we understand that we're all in this together. But the lack of action on childcare and health care in the recent budget makes it clear. Today's Liberal Party has joined the Conservatives in rejecting the progressive principle of universality. Just one more reason we need a strong, united, and focused NDP to protect and expand social programs like childcare, like pharmacare, to lift everyone up. Les gens de partout au pays comptent sur nous. Les communautés francophones comptent sur nous pour assurer leur essor en leur garantissant des services publics dans un français de qualité. Ils comptent sur nous pour veiller à ce que le gouvernement fédéral assume ses responsabilités et se rappelle que Google Translate, ce n'est pas une politique de bilinguisme officiel. Les personnes en situation de handicap comptent sur nous. Ils réclament du leadership pour rendre le Canada plus accessible afin de pouvoir contribuer à son marché du travail et à sa vie sociale. Les jeunes qui s'endettent jusqu'au cou pour leurs études comptent sur nous pour aider les provinces à rendre l'éducation et la formation professionnelle accessibles pour tout le monde. Les aînés qui ont bâti ce pays comptent sur nous pour que leur pension publique soit bonifiée, comme promis, afin de pouvoir prendre leur retraite dans la dignité. My fellow New Democrats, millions of Canadians are looking to us. They're counting on us to fight for them and stand up to well-connected and powerful interests. We can't let them down. We can't get distracted. We have to push forward. If you keep standing with me, then together we will never stop fighting. So stand with me. On va se tenir debout, ensemble. Stand if you want to fight to grow our party and strengthen our movement. Debout contre l'inégalité. Stand if you want to unite progressives in Quebec with those in the rest of the country. Debout pour la paix. Stand if you want to fight to build a country that generations of New Democrats, young and old, have dreamed of and organized for. A Canada that is loving, hopeful, and optimistic, where everyone belongs, everyone matters, and no one is left behind. Together, we can do this. Ensemble, nous pouvons bâtir le pays de nos rêves. Ensemble, nous allons réussir. Merci. Thank you. On continue.